Well, I mean, eventually the bike is a transport means, but here in Ecuador it's very, very complicated to use one, especially in the big cities. What do you think, Danny?
I would agree. I think both here in Ecuador and also around the world that biking creates a problem because our societies were not devised for biking. Our societies, especially our cities, our urban centers, were devised for people to transport themselves longer distances. And longer distances on bikes is somewhat prohibitive. So you don't see biking being used in the vast majority of cities around the world. And it's probably, look at Quito, a place where it rains a lot and there's a lot of hills. And so depending where you go is going to determine whether or not you actually use the bike.
Yeah, I mean, there are some really good experiences, like in the Netherlands. I worked and studied in Maastricht, in the Netherlands, and bike was used commonly by all ages.
Yeah, but there it's pretty flat, right?
It's flat.
I mean, it's flat as can be, and your sea level. Sure, you have rain and snow and all that, but I think.
But still, people are
going to
still
use
using it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, but it's interesting. If you look at a place like Washington D.C., Washington D.C. is now really becoming a biking city, but they have really developed their transportation system so that you can take your bike on any bus, you can take your bike
on the
trains, on anywhere. So very few people use the bike to get from point A to point B. Usually, I take my bike to the train, put my bike on the train, and then I take the bike to my.
And curiously enough, for example, cities in Europe are smaller, than in the States. I mean, at least most of the big cities, like New York, Washington. Yeah, they're more compact. So, I mean, it's more feasible to use a bike.
Well, and that's also when you think of the older cities in the States, many of them were built with that European model. And so they are somewhat more compact, more neighborhood designed.
Right.
Whereas once you get to the newer cities, the ones in the middle of the country, the west of the country,
they're so expanded.
They're so vast where people live on the north side and I go to work on the south side. And, there isn't even a transportation system really. Right. So they all have cars.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's, first of all, to talk about the class and the professor, I think I always would congratulate a professor based on the assignments and the work that the students are doing. And I always think it's great to involve students in interactive assignments. And so an interview in English about something that the students are passionate about really should be commended. And the professor should be happy that this assignment is actually being done.
So, we'd like to congratulate Homero for having students do this type of work. Good luck.